And now time for something completely shameless.
This is Hellenics.
#shameless self-promotion.
And you are listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. Take it away, boys.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The next conquest is only days away.
And with some new discs hitting the mode, will it revitalize the grind?
I think using the word grind there tells you it will not.
All right. Well, Wampa caught an Omicron ability this week.
Oh, Wampa's going to womp. We will give you our thoughts on it tonight.
The TIE Echelon is being chased after as we speak.
How did your Star Fortress bomber farm go?
Well, it isn't 7 stars, I'll tell you that much.
The data mine on the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes event server gave us some juicy tidbits about bonus drops.
When and where those exactly will be in our second segment.
You found me someone I can relate to for our interview, you said.
Yes. In fact, I have found a bunch of people, but one of them stood out to me as the greatest introduction to this crew.
Do go on.
F2P Ollie of the Free-to-Play Nation will join us to talk about his channel and the server.
I have heard of him. This should be a good one.
And Neil, the latest episode of Dickie and the Noob premieres tonight, and it appears that they have a sponsor as well. I guess that's something you don't want to miss.
Well, then Jigabachi returns to us to get jiggy with Jigabachi. I know our audience has missed him.
And with good reason. It'll be good to talk to him again after an announcement that he made while we were away.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Neil. It's been a fun week. Had a good birthday celebration on Sunday, and also I'm going to start out. Yesterday was Mrs. Anthony's birthday. Critty K, our merch designer. So happy birthday to her. Yeah, it's been a fun week, and there's a good chunk to talk about today. One thing I'd like to tap into really quick is see how the subroutines of Bob has been. Bob, have you updated for today?
Yeah, there was a virus that ran through. I had to get rid of that this week, and but yeah, we ran some diagnostics. I think everything's clean and ready to go.
I hopefully, from what I heard, that you are entirely clean because you would have been cleaning out. But we're glad that you're fully updated and back. So
thanks, guys.
Let's get into the week that was. Let's start off, Neil, with the fact that shipments have changed. People are up in arms about the fact that shipments have changed.
Yes.
Reflex memory is not the fault of other people. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I just, all the people, I saw at least 20 people, and yes, I understand Facebook is for the dramatics, right? I saw 20 people on a post saying, if they don't give me my crystals back, I quit. Well, guess what, guys? You're cleared for departure on runway 66. See ya.
Yeah, and they've already said that they're gonna they'll allow the error once. So they've already said, so if you did it on the day of the change, so if you did it on the 2nd, so if you not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, so the day of the changes, if you made up to those, those 4 slot purchases, they will give you the crystals back spent on those items, but just for that day.
Yes.
Just for that one day. And the thing is, I know a couple of people that did it, that didn't log in on the 2nd, but did log in on the 3rd and did it on the 3rd instead, because they didn't log in on the day that they changed it. So I think that there's some ambiguity to that rule there. I think that, as opposed to them saying that they'll refund the crystals made in shipments on the 2nd to first login since the 2nd.
Yeah, well,
because if you didn't log in on the 2nd and then you logged in on the 3rd, that reflex memory would make you do it on the 3rd, not the 2nd. You're not, if you didn't log in and didn't know about the changes and didn't know about anything happening in the game on the 2nd, then you wouldn't have made that error because you didn't log in. But the very first time you log in and you just go tap, tap, wait a minute, oh no, my crystal. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they said
I've done it. I've sometimes I've been on, before they made the changes, on 2 separate occasions, I've been so on autopilot that I didn't just do the 4, I went to the 5th, which ended up being purchasing, 1,280 crystals worth of shards, which is why I was halfway to 4 stars on Iden Versio, because it happened with her. And the exact same thing happened with, I think, Bo-Katan as well when she first came out. So I've done it a couple times because I've just been on autopilot and like that one, tap, 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 that one, tap, 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 that. So it happens. It does happen.
Yeah, Carl Let's Play says has the Fulcrum downloaded Holly from the Jupiter Mining Corporation? No, it's Bob from the Bespin cartel.
Yeah. Ours is much better than those cheap knockoffs of Holly from the Jupiter Mining Corporation ship Red Dwarf. Much better than any cheap knockoff there.
Yeah,
and he has a much
much more handsome, as Bob says. Yes.
Not as bald, and he has a much bigger IQ than 6,000. So yeah.
So the quote unquote post that they made right before we went on the air, the most recent update included changes to the shipment tabs. These changes were announced in the update notes found here, which was the content update on 3.2. That said, we recognize the update notes aren't seen by everyone and that the messaging around this change should have been clearer. We will do our best to call these changes out more clearly in the future to prevent similar issues. There have been concerns that this was a bug or that we are trying to mislead players into making unintentional purchases. Let us be very clear. These changes were made intentionally and were not intended to generate unintended crystal purchases. We also recognize that players have accidentally purchased these items out of habit. If you have unintentionally made crystal purchases from the top 4 slots that were previously 4 credits, please contact support to receive the crystals that you spent on these items. This is limited to 4 crystal purchases made in shipments on 3.2, as you had said.
As I said, yeah.
I'm a little torn, Neil. I mean, your habits are not
the fault of other places.
Mm-hmm.
If, I honestly don't think that they should give them back. That's my opinion. But I've been called an asshole, and I own that. I really do. But if you're not looking at what you're purchasing, if you honestly went into the store, let me pull up the store here real quick on my own device here. If you went into the store and saw 32 shards for somebody in the top slot, do you really think they'd give them away for, I don't know, 2,100 credits?
No, I just, to me, the whole thing, it's like, they said it in that post, we deliberately changed this. And I'd really like to know why.
I know, I could tell you why. I have a good idea why.
No, as in, I can see no legitimate or rational reason for changing it because there was nothing wrong with it before.
Well, there was nothing wrong with having to scroll all the way to the end to get your Bronzium card either. But they brought it up front.
That was that was something that they did as a quality of life convenience that everybody was happy with. That they didn't have to scroll all the way to the end. All right. This change was a revert. It was the opposite of quality of life. So why make a change that they know? And here's the thing. When people ask for quality of life changes, they're asking for things that just make the game a little bit less time consuming, a little bit more easier on the eye, and a little bit more convenient. Everybody is going to say, put it back. The next time you do quality of life, put it back. It makes no sense to have stuff for crystals, then stuff for credits, and then back to stuff for crystals. Just put the stuff for the credits at the top and everything for crystals immediately underneath. And if we want something, we'll scroll down to the crystals. But having to scroll down to buy 4 pieces of gear that probably you've got thousands of anyway, but you do it out of habit, because that's what it is. It is a thing of habit.
Ooh, I got hollow projectors for 2,700. I'm taking those.
It just doesn't make any sense for them to be there. And this will be something that will be asked for and begged the next time they do quality of life. It's inevitable. They've changed something they changed it for the sake of changing it. There is nothing that they could say. There is nothing that they could offer as rationale for moving it from where it was to where it now is. There is no rhyme or reason. There's none. Can you think of a single legitimate reason? Give me a single legitimate reason.
Because normally I don't scroll down and I'll miss something that I don't have all the shards for. Sometimes I do purchase things like Second Sister or Mara Jade or IG-11.
Yeah.
I have made purchases from the general shipments tab of crystals, but I don't always look for it.
So because you don't look for something that most people don't look for, you think that's justification to move them to the first 3 visible purchases in that store and move move the purchases from the store that everybody purchases to out of view.
So you go looking further into the store because then you'll see other things that you might want to purchase.
Yeah, and that's fine, but that doesn't justify moving the stuff, the 4 items that require credits to purchase from the top afterwards. The credit 4 at the top, all of the crystal stuff comes afterwards. If you're looking for something to spend crystals on, i.e. that stuff that's at the top, that's now at the top, it's usually with regards to something that's recently come out that might not necessarily be farmable. If people are farming for those, they'll have them favorited and they'll be part of their farming routine. So they won't even go to the store. So if there are, 7 sister crystal shards for crystals in the store, they're not going to the store to look for them because they've got the 7 sisters favorited and they're farming and they're tapping on to see if shards for crystals are available. So most people are getting the crystals that way. They're not going to the store and scrolling all the way through it on the off chance that what they're farming for is in that store. They've got it favorited. It's part of their faming.
You're talking about gear, though.
Farming regiment.
You're not talking about
talking
characters, because for characters, yes, I already have everything that's currently personally farmable at 7, because that's the kind of jackass that I am. But when it comes to characters, I'm doing them one at a time as they come out when they become farmable. I don't go in and click on the character and then click on the I don't go clicking on roster and then, for example, Barisoffy, and then I click her image and then I see where I can purchase it. I've already, because it remembers where you're at when you're farming. If I click Dark Side Battles right now, it jumps to 8A, because that's where I'm farming Cryotechs. If I hit Cantina Battles, it jumps to 8F, because that's where I'm farming the green and complete signal data. It remembers what I farmed last. But regardless, it comes down to the fact that people don't farm the same way. And I would never notice that, Second Sister or Mara Jade is sitting there in the thing until they moved it up.
Yeah, but what the point I'm trying to make is that most people's farming, most people, we're talking about the majority here. I'm not talking about exceptions to the rule. I'm not talking about the small minority. I'm talking about the majority of the community. And the majority of the community have a farming routine in which all of the characters that they are farming for are favorited. They're at the top. And then when it comes time to farming, they go through each of the characters, click on the star, and they're either buying it from the light side nodes, the dark side nodes. If they're not in the light side or the dark side nodes, they're hoping and keeping their fingers crossed that when they tap on the stars, something from shipments or the crystal store will turn up, and they'll be like, great. They're in the store. I can buy them, and then I buy them, and then they move on to the next one. I have Commander Ahsoka Tano, favorited. She's part of my farming. She's part of my farming regiment because I'm that close to 330 now. I can't be asked waiting.
But she doesn't have a farm node.
So if she's when she does become available for crystals, I just if I've got 600 crystals, brilliant. There's another 5 shards. I'm that little bit closer to getting her. So I know that she's not a regular character that you would farm in a normal way, but she's still there, and I'd still tap on her stars just to see if she's available somewhere. And that's what the majority of the community does. And that's why there was outrage and backlash in going in CG's direction for doing this, because the majority of the community that farm in a very specific way, this change makes no sense to them. And that's why I'm arguing that everybody, the majority of the community will be asking for this change to be reversed before the next bout of QOL updates, whenever we're going to get them.
Carl asks,
to be getting them every 3 months now, but God knows when we're going to get the next batch.
Carl asks, could it be a toe in the water to removing the credit purchases altogether? I don't think so, because you always have credits, and there's always a buy 3 shipments in the in the dailies. So I don't think that they're going to go that extreme on it.
Yeah, not if they want to get called Scrooge McDuck for the rest of their lives, because that would be so tight-fisted. It would be so tight-fisted if they removed that. That would piss off such a large swathe of the community, even for people that don't need it, you know, because we're in the era of relics now. So every piece of gear is important and essential. No matter
every
how,
gear is sacred.
Yeah, no matter how irrelevant it may seem at the time you purchased, it's like, oh, 15 of those. Oh, I've already got 75 of them. I don't really need them, but I'll buy them anyway. And then lo and behold, you're farming for, you know, you're doing your salvage for your relics, and it comes up with, oh wow, okay, so I do actually need those for salvage in order to do tier 1. So
that's
yes,
why I never go below 300 of any piece.
I try not to go below 300 of any piece, but it's not easy on the first round because I'm trying to keep the other things above 1,000. So yeah, I'm trying. I have limits when I'm doing that. I've got like 700 and 800 of to do tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4. But yeah, when it comes to tier 1, yeah, I'm running low on those.
Well, for tier 1, Neil, do know this. You're farming everything else. Why don't you just farm, you know, the 6 nodes and get a boatload of things for a week, and then you'll be set for 2-3 months.
Because I have a very, very meticulous way I farm for things, and at the moment, I'm just kind of trying to be cautious because 11 days from now, I must have 4,000 crystals in the bank so that I can get my executive from 6 to 7 stars.
I can understand that.
I'm 50 shards short and I need 4,000. And then once that's done, then I am going to be going nuts, and I will be using my crystals for all sorts of bits and pieces. But right now, I just need to make sure that I've got those 4,000 because I'm using 300 on Cantina crystals, Cantina refreshes every single day, because I'm farming for those 3 legends from the Cantina, while taking all of the bloody C characters from gear 12 to 13. So gear for them, Cantina for the legends. So yeah.
So you're going after Starkiller then?
Well, no, I'm not going after Starkiller. I'm going after C. It's just that, you know, because I've got 6 characters to take from gear 12 to gear 13. That's no relics, just taking them to gear 13. It's going to take me, you know, a month, maybe 2. But in that period of a month to 2 months, I'll be using 3 100 refreshes of Cantina just so that I've got those Legends characters other than Mara, because obviously she's Relic 5. I'll be taking and place holding them at gear 11. So once I've got them to gear 11, and they're all 7 stars, then I'll be switching to relics, because obviously I'll have a boatload of characters at gear 13 that need to be relic whatever in order to get C. And then once I've got C, then yes, I will be swapping over to doing the legends and getting Starkiller. I'm not going to go for a GL after I get C until I get Starkiller. I just, you know, yeah.
All right.
Just makes sense.
Speaking of the shipments, while we're there, Razorcrest has been added to Fleet Arena.
Yeah.
A lot, and thousands of people rejoiced. Only thousands, though, not tens of thousands. You know, the people that really wanted to get Razorcrest the first time around, they would have taken their time, right?
Yeah, well, it's doesn't affect me one way or the other. I mean, there is my mini account, my small one, my 5 mil GP one, 5.3. I only had the Razorcrest to 6 stars on that, so it'll be useful to be able to finish it off on that account. Not that I'll be going for Executor on that account, but it will be useful to not have to, you know, use burritos to get them. I can just, you know, put them into something else. So I'm happy with that, and I'm sure a lot of the early game people will be very, very happy with that as well.
Yeah,
because now early game people, of course, will be able to go for the Executor.
And of course, that was totally tongue in cheek about people not that actually wanted it. But we made that. You actually made that comment along in our interview that was recorded earlier today. Our interview guest is from Norway, so we kind of we recorded the interview ahead of time.
Finland.
So no, Norway.
I thought you said before we interviewed him. You said Finland.
Norway.
It's Norway. Okay.
Yeah.
They're both Scandinavian countries. They have the exact same culture, just a slightly different language.
Yeah. So, but we'll definitely be getting into that. And last, as far as the shuffle and shards go, Dark Trooper has gone from regular our original recipe to extra crispy. You're now getting accelerated shards for Dark Trooper. And I cannot recommend him enough. He punches things and they go poof.
Yeah.
I call him the poof machine. It's quite excellent.
He's great. I mean, mine's been at gear 11 for I've lost count. I took him to gear 11 as soon as I got him to 7 stars and never felt the need to take him up anymore because my God, does he do I dread to think what he's going to do for me when I do actually take it to gear 12 and 6E as mods and take him to a relic level. Because
he's
at gear 11 with regular mods on, it just destroys everything that I put it against.
At relic 5, he's at relic 5, and it doesn't matter what the bounty hunter team on the other side is. Gideon gets his turn meter reduction, and then he just starts punching things. So
yeah, well, my Gideon is also gear 11, and he's not over 300 speed yet. So he is comfortable against every B team that you can possibly think of, and about a half a dozen A teams.
Yeah. So all right,
because
guys,
the rest of the squad are relics.
Stick around. Coming up in this break, we do have the final results of the Patreon GA Center leaderboard, so we're going to see how that does. And then coming up, we'll talk the Wampa Omicron and more right after these messages right here on the Escape Pod cast.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Followers, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards, including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Patreon leaderboard for last month's GA Center Patreon leaderboard. Of course, because of the delay, we missed a day that we were able to get all of the information, so you get it this week. We'll be back next week. If you want to join in on this leaderboard, you have until next Monday to join patreon.com/theescapepod at the Kyber combatant level or higher to get in on the fun. And also, welcome to our new Patreons. None of them at the Kyber combatant level, so we'll give you what it all looks like now. Let's take a look at the board. D goes 1-2, 2305 in banners, 19 wins, 4 losses, 4 holds for D. Dark Helmet goes 2-1, 5186, huge numbers, 39 wins, 1 loss, 2 holds. Unfortunately, probably that 1 loss cost him. Dr. Jojo files a report. Again, I managed a 2-1 when I shouldn't have. Round 1, I full cleared, and thankfully my opponent never attacked. Round 2 was just a slaughter. He had me out-rostered and out-modded and out-schemed, and I got killed. Round 3, I was 2.5 million GP underdog, but he had better mods. He saved a ton for offense and still dropped 2 on the ground, he says. And despite him 3-shotting the Executor and him writing this before he even attacked fleets, his Plow and Reinforcement Executor to mess up his Malevolence, best he could do is 1 banner lower. So a squeak out of a win for Dr. Jojo, 39-17, 32 up, 11 down, 3 holds. Force Strong goes 1-2, 1,855 banners, 18 wins, 1 loss, 13 holds. Hot Sauce, who has been the top dog all this time throughout this entire season, it's been crazy to watch. He goes 2-1. Oh, wait a minute, let's go back to Force Strong. 13 holds. Force Strong, very, very well done. Looks like you probably went in FU defense with the 1,855 in the banners. Hot Sauce 2-1, 4707, 38 wins, 14 losses, 8 holds for Hot Sauce. A very, very good look. Let's see how it shaped out on the board, but not before we get to Sephironis, who went 1-2, 2003 banners, 15 wins, no losses. Every single win was a one-shot and 1 hold. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new Patreon leaderboard champion. Congratulations, Hot Sauce, on your win for this past month. Dr. Jojo was right behind you at 8-4. Dark Helmet goes 7-5, along with Force Strong and Sephironis. But, of course, the skill rating differential there is what made it all look that way. D goes 5-7, but D is here for the fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Congratulations again to Hot Sauce for the win this past month. And we hope that you'll be inspired to join us. If you're not a streamer or you're not in a Rhodium and would like to be on the boards, sign up at patreon.com/theescapepod, and we would love to have you. So be nice to each other, damn it. I'll see you after the break.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds alongside some of our best, including Mr. Jigabachi, Dr. Zeppers, Rico 1982, and the Bounty Honeys. What is the Chain Gang, you ask? We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow the viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content, as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyBees, #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. It's second segment of the show. What are we talking about, Paul?
I was thinking that we could talk about our big, gigantic, white Arctic bear friend. I know it's not a bear. the wampa. The wampa got
The Sasquatch.
the Sasquatch. He got a Omicron.
Oh, yeah.
Wampa has 50% counter chance, plus 10% counter chance, plus 5% health seal, plus 5% offense for each damage over time effect on enemy. Same. But while in Grand Arena, Wampa has plus 100% tenacity. It's going to be harder to stun him. It's going to be harder to land those debuffs. If there are no other active allies at the start of the battle, the Wampa gains plus 75 defense, max health, max protection, and offense, doubled if there's only one active enemy at the start of the battle. So if it's a one-on-one cleanup, the Wampa is a beast. And this doesn't matter if the number of people. When Wampa's damaged by an attack, inflict 2 dots for 3 turns on the attacking enemy, which can't be evaded or resisted, and the cooldown of Furious Foe is reduced by 1, and then gain an additional 30% tenacity stacking until the end of the encounter. No max on that.
Oh yeah, no, this I'm loving this Omicron. I will be putting this on my Wampa. I'm getting it. I am getting it. The tenacity boost with this Omicron is going to basically allow you, with I would say, with the exception of Mon Mothmas that have Kyle Katarn in them, this is going to allow the Wampa to beat all those trash rebel teams that you find on that back wall. Sometimes people put them on the front, but most of the time you find them on the back wall. All those teams that you look at and go, I can't really use my Wampa here because his tenacity's not over 100%. And if they stun him, he's screwed. Now, with the Omicron on, you'll be like, you don't need to worry about him getting stunned because it's not going to happen. So, yeah, I like having the Wampa. And I will be putting the Omicron on him simply because he is the perfect character to tap in when if you've had to double tap. We've all been there. You've had to inadvertently double tap something on the front, which means you've had to use 2 full squads. Most of the time you've had to use 2 full squads. And then, going into that back wall, you're a team down. But if you can look at those 3 squads and go, yeah, Wampa straight away, then you're back on track. You've got 2 teams left and you've got 2 full squads.
Do you think,
if your preparation is as precise as mine is going into GAC, of course,
do you think anybody's brazen to put a solo Wampa on defense?
No. Because it would be that would be the biggest waste of all time to put 20 nom-noms on one character and then put that one character. No, it's never going to happen.
Alone on defense.
Yeah, exactly. It's complete and utter waste of materials. When you're much, much better. If you're going to put the Omicron on him, you're doing it because you're keeping him for offense. It's as simple as that. You're doing it to keep him for offense. And I have every intention of doing it because my Qui-Gon Jinn and my Scrap Jedi, they ain't going to cut it.
Lee Panna says you can't put a solo character on defense. I thought you could. I guess I'm wrong. So, I know you can undersize your defense in Grand Arena for ships, but I guess you can't undersize ground defense.
No.
So, Kylo unmasked, guaranteed stun on Wampa, done, says Populi.
Yeah, but the Kylo Ren unmasked is usually, sat on the front with other, residual first order, and you usually hit that with something else. You're not going to hit that with I'm talking about those teams that are on the back that, there's some, maybe 1 or 2 gear 11s, maybe a gear 12, maybe 2 relics. It's one of those thrown together teams that go on the back. Those are the teams that I'm talking about. Wampa's going to be able to, just chew through in 60 seconds. And with the Omicron and, that guarantee of 100% tenacity on top of, my Wampa's already over 100%. So an Omicron's going to put him over 200%. So I don't care what potency a character has got. It's not going to beat 223% tenacity. And then obviously he gets more tenacity as the match goes by. So unless the stun is guaranteed in an enemy's kit, you're really not going to have to worry about stuns at all. So he's going to counter everything. And then when he finally gets his go, Hulk smash. Sorry, Wampa smash.
All right. So, Fennec Shand will be, they haven't announced this officially yet, but it's in the data mine. Fennec Shand is going to be added to light side battle nodes as bonus drops the 9th through the 13th.
Oh, that's nice. I'm farming her at the moment, so yeah, that'd be nice. Get some extra ones there.
Get some extra ones so you don't have to be farming directly her. That is true. But how about this? Something that also hasn't been announced, which I think means a huge title update could be coming before the 14th. For a limited time, all light side battles, dark side battles, mod battles, cantina battles, and fleet battles. Do you see where I'm going with this, Neil?
Yeah, double drops.
Are rewarding double drops from the 14th through the 18th. The 14th is a Monday. I have a feeling we're getting a title update next week.
2 times 0 is still 0.
And 2 times 2 is still 4. If you
2 times 2 is still 0. 2 times 0 is still 0, sorry.
This mug of milk is half full, Neil.
No, it's not. It's 100% full.
Well,
it's got half liquid and half gas.
Half gas, yes. I was going to say. It is. But still, nonetheless, if the fact that we're getting double drops overall is exciting. We're going to find something out next week. It's got to happen. I mean, I will be very surprised if we don't have a full show for the opening duologues in the beginning.
Is it on my birthday? Let's have a look.
What did you guys think about
No, my birthday's on Sunday, so.
Yeah, your birthday. You're on the 13th.
13th, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, what did you guys think about the Gamorrean Guard on the calendar?
I already got him at 7 stars, so it's shard currency.
Bob has been while he was reloading his operating system, he kept messaging me saying, Book of Boba stuff. I really, really hope that it means that we're getting all 4 mods. It'll be great. It'll be the best thing to come to the game.
Yeah, it will. Absolutely. Not like, we haven't, they keep doing this double drop stuff, which is great until you get 0. And then you're looking at it going, double drop what? No, what they need to do, because we haven't had it since Carrie was the game lead, is 8 drops. 8 sims.
Oh, the 8, the 8 sims instead of the 5.
Yeah. Give us a month of that. Here's the thing. They used to bring those things
Which would you want? A week of double drops or a month of 8s?
A month of 8s. I would take a month of 8s any day of the week. Absolutely. I guarantee you the majority of it, it just makes farming faster. It does. You get stuff done so much faster when you have 8s. And the thing is, there's that much new stuff in the game right now. I would legitimately argue that it's something that they should contemplate implementing on a permanent basis.
For those who don't know,
of characters and ships we've got.
Yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, who are new to the game, that are listening to the show, there was a time when we would be able to sim a hard node 8 times before having to pay the refresh. It was glorious.
I mean, here's the thing, right? When the game first started and it first came out, it used to be 3.
That is very true.
It used to be 3, and as the number of characters increased and came to the game, CG realized, whoa, hang on a minute, 3. We people need to be able to farm these characters a little bit faster. We need to increase it, so they increased it to 5 because of all of the new characters that were coming, and then they would have these periods that would last a few weeks. I mean, one of them lasted like 5 months, which was just awesome. That was a glorious 5 months. Absolutely glorious. From the end of 2018 until the beginning of 2019, we had 8s, and then they reversed it back to 5. Now, that was over 3 years ago. We haven't had it since, and we've had all of these new characters. We've got hundreds more characters since that period.
But they have also doubled the speed for Extra Crispy.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and I think that that's great, but it's still important that new people that are coming to the game get this, get the stuff farmed faster, because yes, the double drops have increased, so you're either getting 2 or 4, or 6 or 8 or 10. But I've farmed the Extra Crispy stuff, and it is still usually only 2 or 4. It's very rarely 6. It's even rarer to see an 8, and I've only ever seen a 10 happen once. But if they did 8, it would just make life easier for the beginner and the intermediate.
That 10 is like when I was farming the Star Fortress, which, by the way, I only got to 5. But I'm fine with that, because once at 5, it's all character based or level based for you to be able to do upgrades to ship. I crossed the all 7s mark this past week because of Star Fortress. That being said, I pulled 18 shards on 20 pulls during that, and I went, booyah.
Yeah, see, it's nice when you get the extra pulls. And, you know, right now, the new free-to-play, I think the newer free-to-play numbers are hurting, because if you're taking this game up from day one, scratch, and you're not going to be paying into it, you're going to be a consumer, not a customer, the last thing that you want is to have to farm something for, 2 or 3 months. If you can just take a little, if you can just give 50% on top of that, just an extra 50%. I mean, I know it's more than 50%. It's like between 50 and 60%. But if you can give that extra 50 to 60%, it will help retain those new free-to-play players, which are needed, because the new whales and the new krakens that are around the 1, 2, 3 million mark, just like when I was free-to-play and there were whales and krakens, beating me down, that tier of player, they too need free-to-play that they can go, that they can slap with their wallets. Because they ain't slapping me in the face with their wallet, with their 3 million GP account and their slacker. That's just, it's not going to happen. There needs to be free to play at their level so that they have someone to slap in the face with a wallet.
Sometimes you got to pay extra for that, Neil.
Yeah, sometimes you got to pay extra for that. Yeah.
All right, let's quickly get to the Conquest 14 data disk list, and then we'll check in with Bob to see if we made any mistakes this time around. So a lot of it centers around critical hits. The new discs is critical turn meter, critical formation, critical support, Stacking Defiance, and Critical Over. Critical Turn Meter comes in all 3 flavors. The best is that when you score a critical hit, the enemy loses 11% turn meter. Critical Formation comes in common and rare, no epic, so no purple, you'll only get a green. All allies recover 12% protection. Support is 12% health. Stacking Defiance, all allies gain 5% offense, only comes in blue bubblegum. And there is a legendary one, Critical Over, that once you score a critical hit 5 times, then you will definitely hit them, or you gain a 100% critical chance and critical damage, and remove 100% turn meter from the target enemy the 5th time. Kind of like the, massively overpowered. Once you gain 10 buffs, in this case, it's once you hit critically 5 times. Thoughts on it, Neil?
The critical formation and critical support, brilliant. Really, really good. Keeping my fingers crossed they're 1 dots. Really, really hoping that they're 1 dots. Since they're only doing common and rare, that's where I think it's going. 1 dot, which would be great, because if you can get your hands on both a rare formation and support, that is going to be brilliant for me, because I'll be able to put my CLS and just hit auto every single time without having to worry, because if they're getting 12% protection and 12%, every time they all hit at least one of them's going to get a critical hit off. So if there's 5 hits going on one character because you've thrown your CLS team in, if one of them gets critical, then everyone's health and protection is going to get topped up. So I think it's great for those teams. It's going to be even better for gas teams. I'm going to be able to throw gas team in on auto with those ones. Really looking forward to looking forward to that. But I'm not so the critical over. I look at that and go, even if it was offered me, I wouldn't take it, because I wouldn't want to waste one of the 12. I wouldn't want to waste any of the 12 slots that I've got on something that requires 5 critical hits in order to get 100% crit chance and crit damage and remove. Yeah, big whoop. Like, seriously, big. There's just nothing. There is nothing appealing in that legendary to me whatsoever. Even if it was 1 dot, it's still a data card that only does something after you get 5 critical hits. And then all it does is give one person, the ability for 100% crit chance, 1 crit. It's
there are other better ones, yes.
Yeah, there are much better ones.
But it does come with 14 burritos.
Yeah, the common and the rare. The formation and the support ones, though, yeah, really, I like those ones. I mean, the critical turn meter ones, they're all right, but there are already other well-established ones that are good for turn meter removal. So I'm not overly that bringing in a new one to remove turn meter when there are already established ones. Yeah, I'm not that fussed with that, right. But I will take the formation and the support ones, the critical ones, because they'll go really, really well with the defensive and offensive formation ones, right? That already, I mean, they don't give as much. I mean, I think they're like 2 or 4%.
Epic is 6%.
Epic is 6%. Yeah, exactly. So again, even really, really good data cards for your really, really good data cards for your CLS team and your gas team.
All right, so I'm going to run down the list because we're running out of time here. Ability Exhaust comes back, Amplify Agony, Booming Voice, the legendary, Caustic Emissions, Defensive Formation, which you spoke of, Entrenched Evasive Technique, the Hyper Accelerator Epic is back. It's not a it's not a legendary. Insatiable, Leader's Resolve, Master's Technique, Offensive Buffs, Offensive Support, Perseverance, Epic, Power, Premonition. What?
I'm sorry, I just got to the bottom. I've just got to the bottom of the list.
Perseverance, power, premonition, stacking fervor, stacking offense, thermal exhaust, unstable decelerator, which I always loved that one, volatile accelerator, voluntary vanguard, war of attrition, zealous ambition, and then the two that are awarded, there is a epic deployable cooling systems.
Deployable cooling systems is back, and it's epic. Oh!
But you can only get it if you do the Grand Conquest feat. What is that feat?
Which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very difficult one. And then massively overpowered, only available through I Know There Is Good in You. So lots of fun.
Massively over. I never liked massively overpowered.
I liked massively overpowered for my JML team, because then C-3PO just waves his hand and somebody's head explodes. That's one of my favorites. So, Bob, what do we get wrong? What do we get right? And what are your thoughts this week?
Like usually, you guys did pretty well. I don't think you got too much wrong. I
Too
didn't have too much
much
to check up on, guys. There wasn't much to talk about this week, so not much to check up on. You did great, guys.
All right, what's your thoughts on the state of the game as a fellow AI?
It's okay. I'm ready for some big news. Where's the GLs? Where's Black Croissant? That's about it.
All right. So coming up in this break, we coming up after this break, we sat down earlier with F2P Ollie. It is F2P Ollie. Really, really great interview with him. Hope you'll enjoy that. He said something that made Neil very, very shocked. Very, very shocked. And then, as I say at the end of the interview, a brand new Dickie and the Noob, along with a sponsor for Dickie and the Noob. You guys are going to want to see that. So stick around. Coming up after these messages right here for, by the way, also story time with Uncle Thad. True story about Phasma in this story time. So make sure that you stick around for that as well. Right here on the Escape Pod cast. HotPod in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool. Hello there, Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with Uncle Thad and the Escape Podcast for Kids. Tonight we're going to talk about the newest ship coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the First Order TIE Echelon. This First Order tank is the latest addition to General Hux's fleet and makes its first appearance in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as a galactic chase event. Let's take a look at where it appears in the Star Wars canon. The TIE ES Assault Shuttle. The TIE Echelon is a transporting assault shuttle from the TIE line of starfighters from the Sinar Jameis fleet systems. Like the other starships in the production line, the Echelon had twin ion engines and solar collector panels. The Echelon was armed with 4 heavy laser cannons and 1 dual light laser cannon turret. Advanced sensors were installed in the Echelon's standard package, as well as deflector shields, enough space to store at least one 125Z tread speeder bike. This standard assault transport model was typically crewed by a complement of 12 officers, but only had cup holders in the captain's chair. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the Platinum package, the TIE Echelon could be crewed by as few as 1 First Order officer. This reduction in space needed for the crew allowed Sinar Jameis to increase the cargo hold in order that 2 tread speeders could easily fit in the bay. Additionally, the captain's chair was now climate controlled, provided deep tissue massages, and had 2 cup holders. Additional troop chairs could be added for a small cost. Chairs on the Platinum package came in standard blood-resistant plastic or, for a small upgraded, genuine, cruelty-free bantha leather. Now, locals and visitors of the planet Batuu may remember a time when Black Spire Outpost was visited by the First Order TIE Echelon in an attempt to flush out New Republic and New Republic sympathizers. It turns out that shortly after the destruction of the Hosnian Prime system, the First Order had a defector who found his way to Batuu. Captain Cardinal, a former First Order captain and rival of Captain Phasma, had discovered a plot between Phasma and Hux to kill a senior officer. When Cardinal confronted Hux and Phasma about their actions, he was stabbed and left for dead. A resistance spy, Vi Marati, found the dying captain and rescued him, bringing him to Batuu to recover. Now, I spent some time in Batuu, and I can say that the First Order TIE Echelon is a beauty to behold. My family and I were able to meet Vi Marati and help her escape from the First Order. Are we heroes? Yes. Yes, we are. And with that, let's take a look at the TIE Echelon's kit and see how it plays out in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, even though the First Order troop transport can carry a crew of 12 or more, as I mentioned, the First Order TIE Echelon is crewed by none other than our First Order officer. And let's face it, we've known that Fu was capable of some great things, but no one expected him to show this level of skill, this level of bravery, this level of chutzpah. The Echelon's basic ability highlights the First Order's advantageous nature. They're always looking for engagements that allow them to be the hunters and not the hunted. This First Order ship's special and hardware abilities highlight the very thing that make it so tanky, and it really needs to be. At its core, it's a troop transport, and these transports need to be able to withstand a great deal of damage to protect the crew inside. That's what makes it both such a desirable target and such an effective tank. People want to destroy it because it has members of the First Order inside, but they have a hard time finding its weaknesses due to its tanky tank shields. Now, I can attest to this personally. I don't have time to go into the whole story, but when I was on Batuu, let's just say I got up close and personal with this personnel carrier. Then I got up close and personal with some very angry mouse personnel. It didn't end happily for any of us. Personally, I love the Echelon's unique ability. Remember how I said that Phasma and Hux were involved in a plot to kill a senior officer? Well, that officer was General Hux's dad. So we know that the First Order isn't above killing their own, even if their own is their family. And the might of the First Order just shows that the First Order officer at the helm of this ship really does not want to let down Hux or Phasma, so he will do anything to avoid dying in battle so he doesn't die when he returns to report. Well, that's it for me this week. Be sure to tune in next week for more story time with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This week's incoming transmission has a little bit of a European flavor to it. Paul, introduce our guest for this week's incoming transmission.
Yes, we caught up with a very, very fun creator recommended to me by the SWGOH events server. And I just so happened to find out a good friend of our good friend Nooch. They are from Norway. They love to garden, and they're a weekend warrior when it comes to running. And Neil, he's also a big football fan. Ladies and gentlemen,
excellent.
Straight out
well,
of...
he's European, of course he's going to be a football fan. Come on.
Straight out of Norway, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you F2P Ollie. Ollie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So,
okay, what team do you support first?
Newcastle United.
Oh, scum. 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 I'm a Middlesbrough fan.
Oh, okay, then I see. See ya.
Well, damn, we just lost our interview. Now, Ollie, tell us about the account that you do content creation with. That's the main one we're gonna talk about today. What division are you currently in? What's the size? And are you true to your name? Are you actually free to play? And Nev's going to be able to give out his golden FTP card.
Indeed, I am. I'm free to play. And my main account that I do content on, it's 1.75 million galactic power. And that one is in Bronzium 3. And I have another project that I do content on, but that's only on day 62.
And is that one also free to play entirely?
Yeah,
or?
Everything I do is free to play. If not, I couldn't call myself free to play Ollie.
Neil,
so what are your plans with that one? Once you, cause I did something similar with a free to play account called Pompomtastic. I went 365 days. So I did daily content on the account every single day for 365 days to see where it would go. I imagine you're using some kind of farming guide. Tell us a little bit about
Yeah, I'm using my own farming guide. Well, let's take it from the very get-go, from the beginning. A couple of years ago, what I used to do was start up 4 or 5 accounts at once, and I play them all every day, free to play. And when I got to fleet, then I selected the 2-3 best of them. And when I got to level 75, 80-ish, then I just kept going with the one that had the most potential. And I've done this for 3, 4, 5 times. And what I do is I get to level 85. I play 1 season in the Grand Arena, and then I start over again.
Now
you do that every year?
No, with this account, that was the plan, but this is actually the only account that I felt any. I don't know how to explain it.
Connection?
I like to play this account, and something clicked on this one. So with this one, I've also created a farming guide that you, of course, can find on my channel. But with the other one, that's on day 62 now, there I'll only be playing 1 season in the Grand Arena, and then I'll start something new.
How long now, time-wise, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been playing Galaxy of Heroes?
Not that long, actually. A bit over 2 years.
Was there anybody that you looked at first, or did you go into this game going, it's Star Wars, I'm just going to go have fun?
Well, it's New Year's Eve 2 years and 2 months ago, and my youngest son was playing it, and I was like, why haven't I seen this game? and I just started out like everyone else, farmed the Jedi Counselor and the Clone Wars, Chewbacca, and all that stuff.
Did you follow a guide from anybody else, or is this all self-taught?
The main account is self-taught because I have some issues with the farming guides out there.
Okay, well, we'll definitely get into that in a moment.
But in the beginning, I did like everyone else. I farmed the starting characters, and that didn't turn out good. So I deleted that one, and that's when I started to do several accounts at the same time. And I had like one with First Order, one with Separatists, one with Phoenix, and I tried everything.
Throw it all at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, and then when you get to fleets, at least back then, it suddenly takes a lot more time. So then I sorted out the worst ones, the ones with the least potential.
Nice. Neil?
So what's your primary focus regarding your farming guide?
The focus is to have 6 squads ready for Grand Arena when you hit level 85. So
that's I take it that's the requirements for the 5th league, for the Carbonite League.
Yeah. So I'm focusing on having a solid foundation in the roster. So I'm the exact opposite of the Galactic Legend rushes and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So what's so I take it this is obviously. I mean, clearly you're looking at 6 squads, but those 6 squads are going to be multifaceted squads. So squads that you kind of need to go for. I'm assuming regarding legendaries. So I imagine one of those squads is Phoenix, because obviously Phoenix.
No, please don't ever go Phoenix if you're free to play.
Oh wow!
Don't ever go Phoenix.
So you don't think Thrawn is an important character, especially early days?
No, because what's important in Galaxy of Heroes now? It's a Grand Arena.
Grand Arena, Arena is now the focal point. Absolutely, 100% agree.
So you're investing tons of stuff into one squad. That's when you get to Grand Arena. it's subpar. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, it's subpar without an Omicron on it. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you're sacrificing most of your level 1 to 85 for this particular squad. You're sacrificing your fleet for this squad. You're sacrificing your cantina energy for this squad. You're sacrificing your guild tokens, galactic war tokens, if you're buying Seb. You're sacrificing cantina store tokens for this squad. Only for one tune.
So you don't think that the Rebel fleet is an important fleet to have for Grand Arena Championships? How many ship squads are required in the fleet node for Carbonite? Is it 1 or 2?
Carbonite is 2, and in Bronzium it's still 2. So one attack, 1 defense.
Right. Okay. So you'd you put no value on the Rebel fleet. You put no value on the Rebel fleet because obviously that you need 5 Phoenix characters for those Rebel fleet ships. Do you not put any value on them regarding ships?
Well, on my main account, I have still to unlock any of the Phoenix.
Wow.
And what happens again and again is that I get messages on Discord and on YouTube, and people are telling me, oh no, I got to level 60 and I'm getting crushed in the fleet arena. And that's because they wasted all their galactic war tokens, and those I save up for level 60. So as soon as the ships show in the store, I have 30,000 galactic war tokens. So I can rush my Geonosian ships.
The Geo ships, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where you're headed with all that.
Oh, I mean, I 100% agree with you that that first fleet you go for is Geos. You should be farming the Separatists.
This is what's bugging me with the other free-to-play farming guides. They tell you, just do this, and just do this. But if you actually play through it, you can't afford to do anything else but the Geo fleet.
And let's not forget that let's also not forget that the established counter, despite the fact that obviously it's not 100% successful, but the established counter to the Executor is the Separatists.
Mm-hmm.
You using all the Separatist ships and the TIE Fighter pilot.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
Yeah, but this again, why even mention this in a beginner free-to-play guide? That's like years ahead.
You still might end up running into those crazy people.
Anymore. It was, but it's not anymore because the Razorcrest is now farmable from the fleet store, and that's why it's not something that is totally irrelevant. If you were to go back 3 months and the crawl and the way that you would get the Razorcrest, yes, I would agree with you. It makes the Executive fleet not something that is any real importance to those early game players in those lower divisions. But because you can farm, you're going to be able to farm for the Razorcrest on a daily basis from the fleet node now. People will be able to be prepared much earlier within those first 12 months for an Executor.
Okay, let's say that let's look at it as a bonus then. but I wouldn't use that as the main argument to get the Geonosians.
So how many free-to-play guides have you done, or are you keeping to this one?
Well, the thing is, it's so far it's only the one that I've done like the whole way with a ton of seasons in the Grand Arena, and I'm not going to put out a free-to-play guide if I haven't tested it myself.
I like it.
Yeah.
What?
And I even have a disclaimer on my new project. On every episode, it says, "Please don't do this before I have tested it out."
What do you say to some of the people out there who say that free-to-play guides are dead? Farming guides are dead.
I kind of agree, because most of the free-to-play accounts are people that haven't done the level 1 to 85 in years. And they just show you a map of 50 tunes. Just do this, just do this, and just do that. And they have no idea if the resources for the tunes or ships, if they're crashing, or they haven't done it in practice. And that's what's bugging me.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I mean, when I did my Pom-Pom-tastic account, I did that for a full year, and then I moved on to another account to see, because things had changed. And the first one that I did, I followed a farming guide. It was a very, very good, solid, effective farming guide. There were no GLs, there were no relics, there was none of that. It was back when you could be successful as free to play. I mean, it wasn't massively successful in Squad Arena, but it was successful in Fleet Arena because I went down the Geo route, and I got myself into a guild where I could get the Malevolence. So the Separatist route for free to play from day one moving forward, I think that's probably one of the things we could both agree on is a tried and tested part of any free to play guide. Is the Geos and the Separatists?
I wouldn't say the Separatists. I would say only the Geos.
Okay.
No, as in the fleet, because the droid fleet, the Hyena bomber and the vulture droid are
vulture droid. I do the vulture droid as well, and I tell people to start on it at level 18 because you'll have to do it every day.
Yeah, you've got to farm those. You've got to farm those straight away, because the problem with the Geos, and you'll recognize this as well, is you will max out your Geos before you even potentially get a Malevolence. So you're actually going to run Geos with a different capital ship, not necessarily the Malevolence straight away, but they're still effective.
If you're free to play, you probably have to do it with Tarkin and the Executors if you want those Satan materials on level 78. And that's another thing.
I actually ran mine with Akbar.
Yeah,
because the bonus with the Separatists, because the Separatists get bonus protection every time they attack out.
Because the latest guide I saw, that they were telling people to do the home one because the endurance is bad. That's okay, and the home one is the best ship. But what happens is that people follow this blindly, and they get to level 78, and they see, okay, here is a ship challenge for Satan materials, and I need the Executors on 5 stars. You didn't tell me this in your farming guide. You told me to go home 1. That's what happens.
Ships are needed. Yeah, exactly. Ships are needed.
So you and since you need 5 dark side ships for that challenge, the Geonosians are perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 ships.
Excellent.
Just by farming that squad.
What other than checking out your videos, I mean, which is the whole reason we're having you on, is for people to go check yours out, is there something that maybe you've been wanting to also tell newer players? No?
I'm sorry, I'm not following you.
So is there any other advice that you would give a newer player or somebody who may be starting over that maybe you haven't exactly said in your videos, but other than go check out my videos?
Yeah, what I try to tell people is watch as many guides as you possibly can, like 4, 5, 6, 7, as many as you find, and take what you think is best from all of them and add a little bit of your own twists. Because I don't really see the point in playing for 100+ days and all you're doing is slavically following a map. It can't be any fun.
Not a fan of that whole idea.
No, at least find like, because most of the guides, they have like, you need one squad for the fleet, and you need one squad to clear light side nodes and one for dark side nodes. So you have quite a lot of leeway. So do at least one squad or two that you think is cool or fun to play.
So Ollie, tell us about, and Neil's ears are going to perk up here. Tell us about this server, Free to Play Nation.
Well, that's kind of a funny story, because when I made my Discord server, I had never used Discord before. And I have 3 kids, a full-time job, and I started playing Galaxy of Heroes because it was something to do on my commute. And suddenly I was sitting there with, I don't know, I think I spent like 30, 40 hours every week on the game. And the initial idea was to do like 1 video each week, but that turned into 2, 3, 4, and now 5, I think, every week. So the Discord thing it was just too much to handle. I had no problems in talking to people and helping them, but like setting it up and having control over the whole thing, that was something I didn't have time for. And one day I played the Grand Arena, and I got some text messages that I was playing another YouTuber, and that's Free to Play Padawan, an awesome guy. He'll bring a smile to your face just by logging into his stream. And we had this epic match, because he was on his end saying, "Oh my God, the F2P Ollie has a lot better roster than me, so I'm going to lose." But I was watching him live before I did my matches, and he did some 200 IQ stuff, and he just flipped the whole matchup on its head.
It's always good when it's content creator versus content creator.
It was awesome. So what happened was that we continued chatting after that Grand Arena round. He was being friendly, and he said, "If there's anything I can do for you at any time, please let me know." So I took him on his word, and I said, "You can have my Discord server." So what we did was that I moved my server over to his. So now I can do the things that I like to do, help out, while someone else is doing all the moderating, and because I was doing it all alone.
Now, this is a question for Neil. That I'm sure he would ask here. Do you stream your Grand Arenas, or do you at least post them?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I post every round that I'm able to.
Yep.
But I'm not doing it live because
you have a job.
Here in the basement we have 3 kids, and it's only 2 rounds ago that I had to edit out 1 battle because some little boy came out of the shower and was wondering what his daddy was up to. So yeah, and since I'm not a native English speaker, I like to spend good a lot of time editing out all the silence and awkward stuff.
You're doing damn well right now. Neil, any other questions here?
No, I think we're good to go, mate.
All right. So I guess one of the things, Ollie, so you would recommend possibly, talking to more of your free-to-play nation people, and maybe the next time that we talk to one of you guys, talking to Jedi Padawan then.
Yeah, you would love him. He's, as I said, you're going to be smiling the whole day after talking to him.
So what do you have coming up on your channel? What's the next video that Ollie's going to put out?
The next video is tomorrow's Grand Arena. And I, of course, do that 3 times a week, all the rounds. And I'm also doing both accounts with one weekly update from each of them. So I'll be having a video on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
That's the Carbonite account, is it?
It's no, Bronzium account.
Bronzium, sorry. Bronzium.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil's always looking for people in a rhodium or higher.
But by the way, what do you guys think of the new Grand Arena system?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah,
loads of crystals.
I'm enjoying it. I really, really do wish that Thad and I, who we have exact same skill levels, I wish we would have gotten matched up. As you said, creator versus creator is always an amazing thing. We've seen that time and time again.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm not that busted up about the matchmaking system. I don't care if I get matched against someone that on paper massively overpowers me. I don't care, because sometimes I beat them and sometimes I obviously lose to them. But I've made peace. I'm one of the GAC competitors that has made peace with the fact that before I used to win everything and just lose once in a while. Now I'm losing all the time, but I've made peace with that, and the last thing that I'm going to do is post on a forum or on Reddit. Oh my God, this sucks. This is horrible. I'm facing someone with 6 GLs. It's like, yeah, and so, terrible. poor you. You're going to lose one match to a 6 GL opponent. Big whoop. You're going to match up against people that are better than you with better rosters than you. Deal with it.
Yeah, and when they announced it, I was way high on it, but then I was down here again. But now lately, it seems like it's even out in the different leagues.
Yeah.
It'll get better. Yeah. It'll get better over the next month.
Because
after this last month, I think 3 months under the belt, matchmaking will be better.
My first round this season was my 1.7 million against a 5.2 million account. But this was a 5.2 million account that actually belonged in Bronzium.
Because he doesn't do anything.
He was just collecting every tune and leveling everyone up to level 85. So he'll probably end up in Carbonite. But the only thing I don't like is I don't know if I'm unlucky, but I happen to be playing against these seriously slick rosters. And then they tell me, I haven't been playing for 3 months, but just now I decided to sign up for Grand Arena. And then I have to face them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that's definitely going to get weeded out coming down the line. But as Neil and I have always said, expect to go 6-6 in a season. Now.
Yeah, because you'll end up at 50-50 eventually, no matter how good you are or bad you are.
So, any other pitch that you want to give to your channel, and then also tell people how to find you that don't want to click on the show notes or look in the chat?
Well, if you are a new or old or intermediate or whatever kind of player, join the Free-to-Play Nation Discord server. We have hundreds of members that are eager to help you with Grand Arena, leveling, squad building, mods, whatever it may be. or if you just want to hang out.
Which you have a very, very chill server. I love it. I lurk in there, and you guys are so nice to each other.
And if you want to see me scramble around in the Grand Arena, then you can do so on my channel 3 times a week. And then the same if you want to follow my free-to-play projects.
And where's your channel on? How do people find, if they type, what do they have to type in?
They find me on YouTube, and the channel is called F2P Ollie.
There we go. There we go. Ollie, thank you so much for coming on. We really, really appreciate you taking some time recording this ahead of time so we can bring to our listeners this amazing creator. Guys, go check him out. Neil, anything else before I throw to commercial?
No, throw to commercial, mate.
All right, coming up in just a moment, the latest episode of Dickie and the Noob. It is new this week, and apparently they have a sponsor. What's all this about? Right here on the Escape Pod cast. HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or territory wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Today's episode of Dickie and the Noob is sponsored by the Canadian Department of Mobile Gaming. More from them after the episode. On last month's Dickie and the Noob, Dickie found out that Noob used to be Hondo Onaka's protocol droid. He devised a plan with Yarmo to access Noob in safe mode and uncover his past. Alright Yarmo, so we should have access to his memories now? How does this work? Okay, so Noob, what is your name?
N00B.
Okay, good. Can you tell me when you were first activated?
2019.
And who activated you?
Hellenics. Hashtag shameless self-promotion.
Good. Do you remember anything before you met Hellenics?
Does not compute.
Yarmo, this isn't working. Anything you can do here?
Good. Remember, go black. Oh, boy.
Okay, Noob, do you remember Hondo Onaka?
Hondo Transport Solutions.
Awesome, that's the name of Hondo's front shipping company. Do you remember where it is?
Stu John.
Great. Do you remember being on Stu John?
I was Hondo's protocol droid counting cards. He used to have me count cards for him. Roger.
Uh-oh, I think he's turning into one of those old separatist battle droids.
R0G3R security droid. He's the one who sent me to the scrap heap. Revenge, revenge, revenge.
All right, cool. We might be actually getting somewhere. Do you remember anything? Does Hondo actually live on Sujon? Does he have a house there?
Hondo lives on the mothership.
Okay, well, we live on it now. Is there anything you can think of that might help me locate Hondo?
Fish.
Cool, so like his favorite fishing spot?
He smells like fish.
Okay, that really doesn't help at all. If Hondo were to go into hiding, where do you think he would go?
Secret door in the warehouse.
Like a safe house?
No one is safe. Death awaits.
Okay, that's not ominous at all. Do you remember where this warehouse is?
On the shore of Kenobi Lake. Lake full of Ravanax. Do not go swimming.
I'll keep that in mind. Is there anything else you can think of? Associates on Sujon?
Pirates Guild. Although they may want to kill me. I'm actually pretty sure they want to kill me.
What did you do, noob?
Unclear. Memory fragmented.
Yarmo, a little help?
Oh, boy.
Protocol 808 activated.
What's Protocol 808?
Complete hard wipe of all memory banks.
No, noob, stop.
Protocol 808 halted. Progress 68%. R0G3R. Roger.
Roger? Wait, why am I saying Roger? And why are you guys in my room?
It kind of seemed like you were having a nightmare. We just came in to see if you were doing okay.
I am a droid. We don't dream. This is weird. How embarrassing.
All right, noob, no need to get all worked up. Power down and get some rest. We'll be in Sujon soon.
Sujon? Why do I suddenly crave Ravanac oil?
Have you ever been to Sujon?
Can't say that I have.
All right, noob, glad you're okay. Get some rest, and I'll wake you up when we get to the planet. Tune in next time to find out what our heroes discover on Sujon. And now, a word from our sponsor, the Canadian Ministry of Mobile Gaming.
Hey buddy, I am the Canadian Minister of Mobile Gaming. And do you like free-to-play hero collector games? Well, the Canadian Ministry of Mobile Gaming is very proud to present Canada Galaxy of Hoses. Now I can hear you saying, hey guy, what's this all about? Well, Canada Galaxy of Hoses takes your favorite Canadians, arms them with hockey sticks, and pits them against each other in battle. There's several exciting factions such as your favorite Canadian comedians like Jim Carrey, Tom Green, Norm Macdonald, Mike Myers, and Seth Rogen. Or your favorite musicians, Neil Young, Celine Dion, Michael Bublé, Alanis Morissette, and Geddy Lee. We promise to never bring Nickelback to the game. How about your favorite movie stars, guy? Michael J. Fox, Kiefer Sutherland, Hayden Christensen, Nathan Fillion, and William Shatner. Your favorite Canadian athletes is just a bunch of hockey players. And of course, your favorite mobile gamers such as Stylos, SWGOH Yeti, Ricky P, Andy Beats, and some guy named Dickie Dockside. Collect them all and you could unlock our legendary faction, Sexy Ryans, with Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling. And even our first galactic legend, Canadian Jesus himself, Keanu Reeves. And hey friend, we're adding new characters every month that you can collect for absolutely free. 6 to 9 months after release. Or you can pay low sum of $50 to unlock them immediately. So what are you waiting for? Download Canada Galaxy of Hoses for your BlackBerry device. Download it today and use the promo code Poutine to get 4 free quarts of maple syrup to max out your characters, and you'll get 1 hero for free. Scott, Canada Galaxy of Hoses, only for your BlackBerry device. Find out what it's all about today, friend. Hey buddy, get this. I just told them that we're gonna give them Scott for free. They don't know that Scott sucks. Nobody likes Scott. And get this, I told him that $50 was a low price to pay for one character in a mobile game. What do you mean some games charge up to 10 times that? Seriously? Get me the marketing department on the phone right now. You're still recording, shut the camera off.
And now, it's time for Getting Jigabachi with It on the Escape Pod Cast.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get jiggy with Jigabachi. How's it going, Mr. Jigabachi?
How are you, man? It's been a long time. I feel so terrible that I've missed you guys.
I know there's the spot next to us on the ship. It's felt empty, without the tickle tank master, without the cam whisperer,
Well, it's one of the things that I believe is super important is for people to understand when they need to take breaks. Just because we play a video game doesn't mean we have to designate it as being the most important thing in the universe. And when you find yourself thinking about it in opportune times, you're like, I think I need to take a week off.
Speaking of breaks, while it's been a month since we've talked, you have you've changed how you do your Grand Arena.
Yes, I have. One of the things that has been plaguing me over the last little bit here has been the fact that I've been having really bad crashing issues with BlueStacks, and I get it stable for about 2 to 3 weeks, and I like it for a while, and then it crashes again, and it just drives me nuts. So for me, it's more like I have to get to the point where I can trust that the emulator is going to play correctly and not disrupt my play. So I just stopped using BlueStacks. I used Mimu and I think another emulator, and I just went into this thing if they crashed, I just fired them. So I took advice from another content creator, SoloBase 15, and you too, Nev, but SoloBase, because he said iPad. He said he's using an iPad, and he's using a 5K player to be able to transfer it from the iPad to the computer to figure out how to get it back on Twitch. So I'm kind of in the process of getting that process worked out so I can still play it on my iPad. The game is still stable, and then also hopefully possibly get back to being on Twitch again with Star Wars.
But trust, I play mine on my iPhone, and all I do is drop the menu down, screen share, boom, straight onto the computer, and that's it. I don't have to faff around with the computer, no emulators, just play it on my phone, and whatever is on my phone turns up on the screen. And I've been doing that for over a year now. I use the iPhone for my main account, and then I use a Samsung tablet for my my Google Play alt accounts.
Yeah, no. It's definitely something that has cropped up lately. I was working on a perfect wave set for Lightside Geo this last month, and I got a BlueStacks crash I was at 60. I think I was at 69 waves at the last set of P3. So all I had to do was the 4 sets for and obviously the ship battle, which is literally just you're just jumping off a cliff at that point and hoping that you don't land on rocks. But for the ground battles, I was literally looking at a perfect set, and it crashed on the opening inset wave with Jedi Knight Luke, which is an easy 4-4, and I just I needed something to change, and something you got to do that, if you feel passionate about something and you're competitive, which I am, you got to figure out a way to fix it. So it needed to be remedied.
More and more people are saying, was it me and Solo have been doing it for ages, and then a couple of other people had horrendous crashes. And they're like, oh, so, what are you doing? So then a couple more people joined on, and now you're give it another because GAC is like the pinnacle competitive wise of the game now. I can see a lot more people switching from emulators to just playing it on their mobile device and screen sharing to their computer. And before anybody in chat says it, yes, I know mobile devices crash as well, but not as frequently as not as frequently as BlueStacks.
I've had four crashes in my lifetime on my iPhone.
Yeah, I've had crashes on my iPhone too. Most of the time that you have stability issues on the iPhone usually happens right around a big patch. When they put content out, because the hamster wheel that Capital Games has for checking on their stuff before it goes live. We had a GAC that got canceled this week. I mean, I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying that, there's a lot of things that they don't foresee. And some of that stuff crops up right after those patches. And most of the crashes happen around those particular events. And when we get into these sequences like we've got now, we've got a long period of time where there's nothing going on. It stabilizes it. It's fine. And yeah, we've had a couple weeks here of nothing going on.
Well, we go ahead, Neil.
No. I was just gonna say the I do think more people would be inclined to play it on their mobile device if they knew that the percentage risk of a crash regarding mobile device to emulator.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that that play on all different circumstances. Because you've got people that guilds that are requiring streaming of cam and this kind of thing, and TW stuff that guilds make requirements of, and there's lots of people that have to do stuff different ways. And for me, it's like finding a different way of doing something that maybe I can depart some of that information on somebody else to make their life a lot easier. Because when you talk about crashing, the game crashing, that's a functionality that's I can't even imagine what a software developer has to go through to be able to design stuff to work on the Android platform. Because there's infinite numbers of combinations of all kinds of physical stuff that I don't, I'm not a programmer, I'm a musician, I don't know that kind of that terminology, but I can't imagine it's easy.
Well, it's definitely good to see you. You have been missed from the show for the past month, and we're definitely happy to have you back.
Yeah,
sure.
I stopped playing for a week. I did the bare minimum stuff with my guild and stuff like that. Took a couple TWs off, just pure defense wise and stuff like that. So it was nice to definitely take a couple days to just chill and recharge those batteries again.
Yeah. Well, we do Patreon's choice in the fourth segment. If anybody wants to redeem their channel points to ask a question during this segment, you are more than welcome to do so. But Patreons have a specific channel on our Discord, and Zaz has put 5 questions in. The first one: the zombie apocalypse has happened. You must make a hand weapon from what's in the room with you right now. What are you killing zombies with? I'm pulling down the rods that hold up the green screen that's in front of me, and whittling it down and making a very, very pointy stick.
In the glass case that is behind me, there is a very, very well made katana.
There you go.
I guess I'm Michonne with pink hair.
Neil, what you grabbing over there?
I'm looking around. I've just, what? There's not a massive amount. Probably. Actually, I suppose that. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No, that's hefty. The monitor rack that I've got in front of me that holds my 3 monitors. That's a great big steel pipe.
You've got a pole arm.
Yes, I've got 2 really, really big chunky pipes. So blunt force trauma.
Well, I've always thought about that. Maybe this is going to derail this. I've always kind of been like, the zombie apocalypse, the best weapons will be blunt weapons, not edged weapons, because when an edged weapon, or thin, you'd want something that you would be able, of course it'd be tiring to be able to be carrying around a pipe all the time, but you'd want, a mace or a pipe or something like that. That's, I don't know. Why do we
cricket
think of
bat.
these things?
Shaun of the Dead cricket bat. That's the way forward.
Yeah, like I mean, a katana. I mean, you'd use it 15 times, and then I'd be, a zombie walking around with a half a katana. I don't know.
That's why it's a big wooden dowel. So, all right. Since you're into music, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what your response will be on this one, Jig. But I'm going to start with Neil. I'll answer second. What's your favorite driving song?
Favorite driving music.
Yes. One song.
A song.
A
driving
song that if you had to put it on repeat. Mine changes all the time. I'll tell you what it currently is, and I'm probably going to get some flack for it, but I don't give a crap.
What? I need to think about this, so you answer.
Mine's easy. I know what mine is.
Right now, for some reason, I'm really digging the drums and the back and forth of the voices in Machine Gun Kelly's Forget Me Too.
No idea what that is.
No idea what that is.
Halsey and Machine Gun Kelly, just the really, really energetic song that I really like. Jigabachi?
Mine's easy. Brahms Violin Concerto, first movement. It's
okay.
The introduction of the violin and the Brahms Violin Concerto is nothing short of something that every single person needs to hear in their lifetime. It's one of the greatest movements in classical music. It's spectacular.
And this is your driving song, like a banta.
Yeah, it's
okay.
You have to hear it. I'm telling you, and you're like, it is like brings a tear to your eye when the violin comes in. If you hear it with a great violinist, Ennis Heifetz, there's a couple different ones that you could hear. So a couple, Augustin Hadelich that's living currently. It's worth it. Trust me.
All right, Neil, what you got?
I'll go with Blackstone Cherry. Blame It on the Boom Boom, because when I had that on the MP3 player in my car, I did have a habit of play. If I knew that the drive was 3 songs long, I'd be like, well, I can listen to 3 songs, or I can listen to this song 3 times before I get home, and so I would do that. That and the Pretty Reckless, Heaven Knows.
When I'm in the car, I have a policy about that. When I get in the car, I do full albums. So
I can understand. It's fun. We have a song about that. So hold on to these album ones here, because the next one is you're going on a road trip, and you can only take 3 albums with you. What do you pick? For me, The Refreshments, Fizzy Fuzzy Big and Buzzy, Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High, and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I think that it is also called The Impression That I Get. All the songs from that album, from Rascal King to the end, are amazing.
I can. No, go on then, Mr. Jigabachi.
No, I can totally stand behind that. Well, my favorite recorded album of all time is Brian Eno's Music for Airports Volume 1. It's literally my favorite album and has been so for 30 years. So that's obviously would be number 1 with that question. Number 2 would be an artist that not a lot of people have heard. A brilliant man named Robert Rich. His album, either Nest or Trances and Drones, both of those albums are both very good. And then the third one would probably be classical music. And by the way, I'm a huge classical music nerd, in case you haven't figured it out. I would probably tailor that to what I'm currently enjoying the most right now, and that changes depending on the seasons and what I'm currently listening. Sometimes it's piano concerto, sometimes it's violin concerto, sometimes it's full symphonies, sometimes it's a requiem. You never know.
All right, and Dickie Darkside reminded me the name of the album is Let's Face It. So, Nev, What you got? What's your 3 albums?
Well, I would go with an old trustworthy. I would definitely go with an Evanescence, probably Fallen, so that I've got my rock squared away. And then I would go with No Doubt, Tragic Kingdom.
Oh,
just
it's a very good one. It is a good album.
Something, just because I do like my female vocalists. But then to kind of even it out, I would go with so that I've got some dancey type music. I'd go with Prodigy Greatest Hits.
All right.
Fascinating thing. All vocal albums. All 3 of mine were non. Such a bizarre, interesting matrix. Whatever. Fascinating.
No, so I'm a fan of Vivaldi's Four Seasons as far as classical music goes. One of my personal favorite, one of the ones that I was introduced to as too young, and it's always my go-to study album.
Okay.
So
mine's Debussy. Mine's Debussy.
You Debussy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nuages, yeah. That's some of the French stuff I like a lot. Vivaldi's great. I've probably seen, I don't know, I've seen Four Seasons probably 7, 8, 10 times. I've seen Joshua Bell play it, Sarah Chang play it. I've seen a lot of like really, really great players play it. So my wife and I go to somewhere in excess of 12 to 13 symphony concerts a year, minimum.
Yeah, you are. I hope one day, when we're all rich and famous, that we'll be able to expose each other's musical taste to each other even more. I'd love to see a classical concert with you.
Oh yeah, that would be really amazing.
And I'd love to see a Steel Panther show with Nev.
Oh yeah,
I've seen Steel Panther. They're pretty fun.
Steel Panther, yeah, I'd love to see them live.
All right.
Mind you, I do also have hand tattoos. I do listen to a lot of other music, but that's as I've gotten older, it's becoming more and more classical, very
Nothing
much
wrong
less
with
death
it.
metal.
Nothing was the other way around. I was
listening
listening to classical when I was in boarding school, and it used to wind my roommates up something chronic.
When I was a little kid, my mom was a pianist, and she would, when I would be getting up in the morning, to leave, she would be playing like Satie or something like that on the piano. And then, when I got into my teens, I was like, oh, it's death metal or nothing. And it was like Morbid Angel and Deicide and Slayer and all that stuff. And which is funny because I don't even listen to that stuff very much anymore, but yeah, I still got the t-shirt. So whatever.
All right. Next question is, what is the closest object to your left right now? My Apple TV remote.
Another pair of sunglasses. to my left. To my right, it would be my beloved Motoko Kusanagi statue.
Nice. To my right is the mug of milk.
To my right is a laptop.
All right. And finally, what is the latest geeky toy that you've bought? Now, I'm going to ask you guys, do I say what the latest geeky toy that I have become an owner of, or that I personally bought? Because I, of course, had my had birthday 2 weeks ago.
What is that?
A
keypad for an Xbox One controller that I don't have yet.
It's coming for your birthday. I'm sending it to you for your birthday.
So I can do messages, I suppose.
Huh? Interesting.
It was $1 in Goodwill, so I was like, yeah.
And that thing retails for $50.
50? This is $50?
Yes.
I got it for 99 cents.
I know.
Wow, that's
I am the
impressive.
thrifting. Yeah, I am the thrifting god. Come on, Paul. This is me here. When it comes to thrifting.
Okay, you said
equal.
nerdy thing. I actually have to step around the green street because this is an ultra nerdy thing. But
you're going to disappear down the hallway.
Back room of the Millennial Fulcrum.
Yes.
Not
not behind a green screen. So
Not
the
behind a
last
green
one, the last geeky thing I bought was the Sonic the Hedgehog Lego build. So I built a Sonic the Hedgehog Green Hill Zone set. That's the last geeky thing I bought.
I'm getting ready to destroy you guys here. Ready? Because I haven't read it in a long time, and I wanted to get a really, really nice hardcover version.
And you saw the news that he recently started a Kickstarter.
Yeah, well, I've been a part of the Kickstarter, but I realized it'd been a long time since I've read the Stormlight, so we are reading Brandon Sanderson's The Stormlight. Yes, would this be called a nerdy thing?
Yes, it is. And for the people that are only listening, it is a hardcover of Brandon Sanderson. Which book?
The Way of Kings.
The Way of Kings. There you go.
Yeah, I had a paperback version. The paperback version, I mean, this is a 400,000 word novel. It's ridiculous. It's massive. But I had a paperback version, and you just eat through them because the bindings just fall apart because it's too big. You know what I mean? Because the books are just too big. So I bought a hardcover, a good version of it. So
that little model that you held up there, did you build and paint that yourself, or did you buy it? Yeah.
No, I had to get it imported from Japan.
So it had already been built and painted. When you purchased it, you didn't buy it as like a kit and put it together and paint yourself, right? Okay. No, I was just curious. That's all, because obviously, there are so many of them online that come in kit form in a box that you can put together and paint yourself. I just wondered if you did that. That was all.
And I have a very, very close friend here in the city that I live in that I've played in bands with. That he is super big into that. That is a money pit that makes Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes look like a joke.
Statuettes.
Models.
Yeah.
Those models, I mean, they come in a box in bags. They're pure white. You put it together and paint it yourself. And, the lower end ones are like $60.
Oh, and that's just for the model. That doesn't include model, paint. Everything else. It's like
any of that stuff.
Yeah, and I love it. And when we get together and stuff like that, and he's like, "Can I show you all of my freshly painted Chaos Marines?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And I look over at his wife, and I'm like, and I'm giving him the look, and she's like giving me, "It was $700 for all that, and I got nothing." And I'm just like, "Ooh." But I respect it. I totally respect all that stuff. It's amazing, but it's expensive. So,
all right, Neil, what do you got coming up on the Escape Podcast channel?
GAC, nothing but just GAC. I will not be streaming my round 2 tomorrow, because tomorrow is a very busy day for me. First thing in the morning, off to a house, got to look at what needs to be done. Garden, it's been emptied out, so it needs to be, squared away. The garden and the insides for viewings and stuff like that. It needs to be prepared. So I'm going to be side gig. That's a side gig for me, doing a little bit of manual labor, which is totally unskilled and very easy to do. So
and good for your health.
And good, exactly, and good for my health. Exactly. Unintended. I do love positive. Positive unintended consequences are awesome.
And
with your legs, not with your back.
And we should have
that doesn't count anymore, but yeah, that I'll still live with my legs and not my back. I don't care.
And we should have GA Center this coming week, right?
Oh yeah. GA Center will be back on its usual day. We don't do the Tuesday anymore. We do the Thursdays. Gives the competitors more time to do their reports, and it kind of nips it in the bud in case we have any issues with the
pull
scrape from with the pull from CG. Plus, hopefully before next week, we'll have because I need an assistant producer, and hopefully we'll have an assistant producer that can help me do some stuff so that we never have to worry about no reports ever again. So fingers crossed on that.
Jigabachi, what about you?
I will, this big information, I am not doing my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes on Twitch anymore for the just because of the problems that I've been having with the game crashing and stuff like that. But I am doing them in my Discord. So if you are one of my buddies and you're in my Discord, I actually did a ping today that I'll be doing my GAC tomorrow in the morning. And all the information is in my Discord. I can't obviously tell you my link on here because no one does the links in Discord for live YouTube stuff. But I'm sure that you can get a hold of it through any number of the other content creators.
Well, if you send me the right, send me a new link, I will put it into the show notes where people can grab it from there.
Well, I have a vanity URL, so it's discord.gg//surfboard of style.
Surfboard of style. There you go.
I kid you not. It's actually my Discord.
Oh yeah, love it.
So, I will be doing that in the morning, and then I am currently playing. I've been streaming Cyberpunk for all week, which is hilariously funny. And then next week, by super popular request, I am actually going to be playing a game I've never played, but people have been telling me that I need to play it because it's the type of game that I like, called XCOM 2.
Ah, yes, you should be playing that.
XCOM, I downloaded that and put that on Steam like donkey shit over 10 years ago. That is a proper old school space game now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I've had a lot of my chat because I love turn-based strategy games. As difficult as you can push me, the better. I love it. And I love playing modes of games where it's like if you die, the game just deletes the save and you have to start all over again. I love doing that stuff. Like I only play Diablo because I do the Diablo 2 seasons and I only play hardcore. I'm that guy. So I'm like, ooh, there's a turn-based strategy game that's supposed to be very, very difficult that deletes saves. Ooh, I'll do it. Sounds like fun.
There we go.
Yes. I will only play it if it's a one-time thing. If it's not if you can just keep saving and going over and over and over, who cares? That's for shooter games.
And for the side channel Vault 37 Studios, Christy and I are about to finish up the 19th game. We're about to cross 21 entire hours played of Lego platform games. We're about to finish Star Wars The Force Awakens. We have to go to Takodana and then Starkiller Base and roam around those worlds. And then it is 4 games away from getting to the Skywalker saga of Star Wars once that releases. We're not going to play it until we've 100%ed all the other games that preceded it. So,
isn't there another Lego game coming out soon? I thought
Skywalker Saga. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. All
yeah.
Right,
yeah. We're currently playing the latest Star Wars game, The Force Awakens, but the entire Skywalker Saga comes out April 5th. We're trying to see if we can finish all the games before then, but we have 4 more to go before we can, and we're being strict on we have to play them in order instead of going, oh, it's the new hotness. No, we're not going to do that.
And you're doing the full, what's it called? And you're doing like the full stars and everything, or whatever
everything to 100%. Yes.
Brutal. I love it.
The most brutal was we looked it up. It took us almost entirely 5 complete days of streaming over a month to beat Lego Dimensions, which had 28 different worlds that you had to go through, 30 different story levels plus. So
yeah, there was one that you had in a clip where you lost your bananas. It's some like jumping thing or whatever. I didn't know what game it was, obviously, because I'm not familiar with it, but it was like a clip of you like losing your bananas about getting some star thing completed. And I was like, oh, there he goes. Because you were sitting there like stoically, like chewing on your bottom lip, and then all of a sudden you did the thing.
It was actually the Sonic level.
Was it? That's what
the races in Dimensions are unforgiving.
Oh, I bet they are. Sonic was unforgiving 40 years ago.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that will do it for us tonight. If you're a Patreon, we hope to see you in the after show. If you're not, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/theescapepod. And sign up and join us for some merriment throughout the week and lots of fun on show nights. So thank you, Mr. Jigabachi. Thank you to F2P Ollie for being our guest. And
it's free to play, Ollie. Come on.
Free to play, Ollie.
What is free to play?
Our
That's
guest.
his name. That's the content creator's name.
Yeah.
Free to play, Ollie.
Oh,
Scandinavia.
Yeah. And then, of course, a big thank you to Bones for participating as Bob, our on-ship AI. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night. Be nice to each other. Neil?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.